essentially we are young. We are just slightly more than a year old company. And basically Zifra is a Finnish and Russian company. The headquarters is in Helsinki. And our main mission is to work in the sphere of industrial Internet of Things. So we are aiming to revolutionize the industries globally, and we are going hardcore. So we are not working with like fridges or like TVs. We work with metallurgy, we work with mining operations, we work with petroleum companies, with petrochemicals, with machinery companies. And our strategy is that we do not try to actually create products from scratch, because it's impossible during 1 year. So we are acquiring companies that are mature enough, that have traction on the market. We are adding on some artificial intelligence capability to those and taking them those global. So the aim is to build a global company, and thus far we seem to be quite successful. On the global scale, we're seeing some of the competitors in the US, in Europe, but still pretty comfortable.
Any competitor in Russia?
Not really.
So I perfectly understand, because Russia can be a very interesting market for you.
No, Russia is an interesting market, and Russia is a test bed for us. So whatever works here, we're trying to repackage and take those products global. Let's say if we're doing products for metals companies, like we're helping them save lots of energy resources, like 5% of electricity consumption for steel production, and like 10% of materials consumption when you actually make steel. That's millions of dollars in opportunities for the large metals companies. We are doing it with Geolocating, one of the largest metals companies in Russia, and we're also seeing some traction already globally in Europe, in Asia. We are about to announce a big partnership with one of the biggest hardware manufacturers for metals companies. It will come soon. If the Russian companies can save millions, why can't the global companies save?
Can you elaborate on how can they save millions?
Let's
an example.
An example. So let's say electric arc furnace. This is like a big piece of equipment where you can put lots of like scrap metal.
Yes.
Then you essentially use lots of electricity, and you use expensive materials called ferroalloys. So just a saving of like 1% of electricity gives like millions in savings for metals company for just one arc furnace. Multiplied it by tens and hundreds and thousands of arc furnaces that are there with the metals companies. That makes a tremendous impact for the whole industry. That's one of the examples.
Okay. And I was actually in Finland just before I came here, and Tampere in Mindtrack, if you know it. It's an IoT smart city. So it's a very nice, and it relates to your concept very much so. And they seem to have a huge emphasis on IoT implementation on a city-wide level. Is there a market for that, or do you fit in this ecosystem as well? By any chance, is there anything that you might be able to fit in this ecosystem?
There is actually a huge market in smart cities. We're seeing that, but what we are also seeing is there is lots of competition in smart cities. Just in Finland alone, there are probably like at least 30 companies that do something for smart cities. If you combine it with all of the other like innovation hubs, you have hundreds and thousands of companies that are doing something for like smart buildings, smart fridges, smart something.
That's true.
What we are trying to do is we are trying to work in a field where there is really not much competition, and where there have been not many companies that were brave enough to actually tackle the matters. Because if you look at the global industrial landscape, only probably like 2 to 5% of the equipment is connected in some shape or form to some sort of network, not saying the internet. This is a very challenging opportunity. There are not many companies that have expertise in both data science as well as in subject matter expertise. This is where we have actually a huge competitive advantage. And the competition with us is, you can name the companies with like fingers on two hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're bringing.
And is there a military opportunity in this?
No, we're not going into military. We're trying to work only with private businesses. We're seeing lots of opportunities there.
Okay.
Those are more flexible than.
Yes, because I know military have logistics as well, like not the arms deal side. Obviously, I was curious if any of the logistics side of military would fit, especially like intelligent machinery.
It
but it's
might, but it's very complicated. For this specific part,
yes.
we are working with mining companies. We already have more than 70 projects with global mining companies in Russia, in Morocco.
Yes.
Here, essentially, we have products that have been on the market for like more than 10 years. In some of the fields, like we're doing fleet management systems for open pit and underground mines. The example here is even better, easier to understand than what you have with the arc furnace. If you can imagine an average dump truck, a huge piece of equipment, and I don't know how many of you can guess what the price of a tire is for a dump truck.
Oh, 50,000 euros or something?
30.
Yeah.
One dump truck has like 6 tires, and you replace those annually. There is one mine that will have like on average like 30 dump trucks. So that's millions of US dollars just spent on tires.
Yeah.
If you increase the consumption of tires by 10 or 20%, that brings amazing savings for the clients. And that's just one part of the thing that we do. We optimize like routes for the dump trucks so that they don't stay in line going to get loaded, just wasting fuel. We basically get capabilities in terms of mixing the ores, etc., and we really create like millions of savings for the companies.
I understand that. And who would be your like target if at the moment, like what's your projection for the next 3 year or 3 years maybe?
For the next 3 to 5 years.
Is there market entry strategy somewhere?
Yeah, we're targeting most of the global markets with different kinds of products. If we're talking mining, we're targeting Latin America and India as a #1 priority for next year. For our CNC machining business, we're targeting both Asia and Europe. In Asia, the largest markets are China and India, where you essentially have the manufacturing hubs for like most of the global industries. You have some also major opportunities in Europe and places like Germany, France, Spain, Italy, and we are aiming to be there. We're starting with India already. We subscribe a number of very good partners there, and we not.
I know.
No, we're for India. We're looking at the mid-market. There are thousands of companies that would have like 20 or 30 CNC machines there. So owner-operated with like skin in the game, who wants to save money personally, or. We're targeting those like thousands of small guys who will be saving money when they understand how their machines operate, what the loads are, what's the efficiency is. We already we started like several months ago, but just in September alone we already signed up 20 clients in India, and that's just a beginning.
Wow, very impressive.
It's easier because like in military you have like customers.
You have to go through a whole process. So.
You have to go through a whole process. You have customers that will have like thousands of CNC machines. But when you're targeting a small guy who have like 20 or 30 machines, the decision is done immediately. The savings are there, and the market is huge. What we want to achieve is we want to connect 1 million machines with the within like the next 3 to 5 years. Now we have already 8,000 machines connected to the system. That's the start of the journey.
Okay.
What about security system?
We don't operate security systems as such. Basically, sometimes clients tell us, okay, we want some sort of security added on top of our product portfolio, so we normally work with these partners who provide those solutions. But what we are good at is we work well with the data that is already available with the clients, and we don't do any security systems.
And do you have, does the data itself usable for a third party services for analytics for different reasons apart from, can basically, in other words, when let's say you have 200 clients, they have their data has been accumulated and then used internally, but can it be anonymized and then utilized for a more global reporting or global, or you know where I'm going with this, you know, whereby it could be sellable, number one. A second is maybe it's even if it's open source, then it gives that opportunity for academia to go in. Just
I will explain a little bit. I mean, we are not in the market of selling someone's data even anonymized to other clients. It's not our business. What we normally do is we take the data that is oftentimes available with the clients. Like all of the industrial equipment creates terabytes of data. The clients normally have no idea how to use that data because there's so much of data. So you have to clean it and make it usable actually. And normally we even do not store that data on our premises. The client would keep the data and would keep the result of whatever happens with the data. And our business is just to help the clients actually get the use of it.
so there's no, we're just gonna call it CSR, I guess, if that's the right word. There's no, how do you cater for the academia level or people who, for more educational side of things, like, you know, if they want to, how do you give back on a community level like this?
Well, we work with a number of universities here in Russia and in Finland, and we get them engaged into our project because realistically, some of the academia, they lack industrial expertise, while we use their talent to actually come up with some new solutions for the clients. So there are lots of PhD students who are actually involved in our projects, and that's the way we
Cool.
collaborate.